You've probably noticed this peculiar phenomenon, haven't you? You go to a gathering, a party, some social event, and you watch the people around you. They're animated, energized, feeding off the crowd like they're plugging into some great cosmic battery. They get louder as the evening goes on, more expansive, more alive. And then there's you, standing in the corner perhaps, or making your way through the motions. And with each passing hour you can feel something draining out of you, like someone opened a tap at the bottom of your being, and your life force is slowly trickling away. And you wonder, what's wrong with me? Why am I not like them? Why does this thing that seems to enliven everyone else leave me feeling utterly depleted, exhausted, sometimes even a bit desperate to escape? Well, let me tell you something. There's nothing wrong with you. Nothing at all. What you're experiencing is not a deficiency or a flaw in your design. You're simply wired differently. And the world, in its infinite wisdom, created both kinds of beings for very good reasons. You see, we've been sold this idea that the extroverted way of being is the right way, the healthy way, the normal way. That if you're not energized by crowds, if you don't seek out constant stimulation and interaction, then something must be broken in you. But this is nonsense, complete and utter nonsense. It's like saying that because some flowers bloom in full sunlight, the ones that prefer shade are somehow defective. The universe expresses itself in infinite variety. Some creatures are nocturnal, some diurnal, some hunt in packs, others alone. And among humans, some of us are built to process the world internally, in depth, in silence and solitude. We're not lesser versions of extroverts. We're different instruments in the orchestra, playing different notes, and both are necessary for the symphony. Now, what's actually happening at these gatherings that leaves you so drained? Let me explain it to you, because once you understand the mechanism, you'll stop pathologizing yourself and start honoring your own nature. When you walk into a room full of people, your nervous system begins doing something quite extraordinary. It's reading the room, not just consciously, but at levels far below conscious awareness. You're picking up on tones of voice, facial micro-expressions, body language, the subtle emotional currents flowing between people. You're processing an enormous amount of data, far more than you realize. The extrovert in the room is doing something different. They're broadcasting. They're putting out energy, and they're getting energy back from the responses they receive. It's an exchange, you see. And for them, it's energizing because they're built for this kind of external processing. Their nervous system is designed to engage with the outer world in this direct, immediate way. But you're taking it all in. You're like a sponge, absorbing the emotional weather of the room. And here's the thing. You're not just observing it from a distance. You're actually feeling it. When someone in the room is anxious, you feel that anxiety in your own body. When there's tension between two people across the room, you sense it like a disturbance in the field. You're not just at the party, you're processing the party at a much deeper level. And this takes energy, tremendous energy. It's like the difference between watching a river from the shore and swimming in it. The extrovert is on the shore, watching, commenting, enjoying the view. You're in the water, feeling every current, every change in temperature, every bit of turbulence. Of course you're going to be tired afterward. You've been working, even though it doesn't look like work to the outside world. There's another aspect to this that's crucial to understand. Most social gatherings operate on a certain level of pretense. People are performing their social selves. They're not being authentic, not really. They're playing the game, wearing the mask, presenting the version of themselves that's acceptable, pleasant, appropriate. And for most people, this is fine. They can slip into the role quite easily, and they don't even notice they're doing it. But you notice. You notice the gap between what people are saying and what they're actually feeling. You notice the forced laughter, the polite lies, the conversations that are all surface and no substance. And this creates a kind of dissonance in you, a friction, because you can't quite participate in the pretense with the same ease. You want something real, something genuine, some actual connection beneath all the social choreography. And so you're caught. You're at this gathering, trying to play the game because that's what's expected, but simultaneously aware that it's a game. It's like being in a play where everyone else has forgotten their actors and thinks the stage is real life, and you're the only one who can still see the scenery for what it is. This awareness is exhausting. This double consciousness, being in the experience while simultaneously being aware of the artificiality of the experience, it takes a toll. Now, contrast this with what happens when you're alone. When you're alone, you can drop all the masks. You don't have to perform. You don't have to manage anyone else's emotional state or navigate complex social dynamics. You can just be. And in that being, in that simple, uncomplicated existence, there's a profound rest. The extrovert experiences being alone differently. For them, solitude can feel empty, understimulating. They need the external input, the interaction, the stimulation of other minds and personalities to feel fully alive. But for you, solitude is not deprivation, it's restoration. It's where you recharge. It's where you process all that input you've been absorbing, where you integrate your experiences, where you reconnect with yourself. This is why, after a gathering, you often need a significant recovery period. You're not just tired from staying up late or from the physical activity. You're tired because you've been processing vast amounts of subtle information, maintaining your social performance, managing the dissonance between authenticity and pretense, and absorbing the emotional field of everyone around you. You need time to discharge all of that, to let your nervous system settle, to return to your baseline. And here's what society doesn't tell you, what you need to understand in your bones. This is not a weakness. This is not something to be fixed or overcome. The depth of processing you're capable of, the sensitivity of your perception, these are gifts. Yes, they come with challenges. Yes, they make certain situations more difficult. But they also allow you to see things others miss, to understand at levels others cannot reach, to experience life with a richness and depth that the purely extroverted person may never know. The problem is not that you're drained by social gatherings. The problem is that we live in a society that has organized itself around extroverted values and then pathologized everyone who doesn't fit that mold. We've created a world where constant interaction is valued over deep reflection, where breadth of social connection is prized over depth of understanding, where being the life of the party is seen as superior to being the thoughtful observer in the corner. But think about what the world would lose if everyone was an extrovert. Who would do the deep thinking? Who would create the art, write the books, make the scientific discoveries that require long hours of solitary focus? Who would see the patterns that emerge only in quiet contemplation? Who would understand the subtle truths that reveal themselves only to those who know how to be still? The universe needs both. It needs the ones who are energized by interaction and the ones who are energized by solitude. It needs the broadcasters and the receivers. It needs those who skim along the surface of life and those who dive into the depths. Both are necessary. Both are valuable. Both are exactly as they should be. So when you find yourself at a gathering, feeling that familiar drain beginning, you can make a choice. You can honor your nature instead of fighting it. You can leave early without guilt. You can find the one or two people there who are capable of real conversation and spend your time with them rather than trying to work the whole room. You can take breaks, step outside, give yourself moments of quiet in the midst of the noise, and you can stop measuring yourself against the extroverts in the room. Stop thinking that their way of being is the right way and yours is the wrong way. They're playing their instrument, you're playing yours. Neither is better, they're just different notes in the same cosmic song. What you're experiencing at these gatherings is not pathology. It's sensitivity. It's depth. It's a particular way of processing reality that has its own wisdom, its own gifts, its own place in the grand scheme of things. The drain you feel is simply the cost of being built for depth in a world that often operates on the surface. But here's the beautiful thing. Once you truly accept this about yourself, once you stop trying to be something you're not, once you honor your need for solitude and limited social interaction, you'll find that the social interactions you do have become more meaningful, because you're no longer scattering your energy trying to be like everyone else. You're being yourself And that authenticity attracts the kind of connections that actually nourish rather than drain you. You'll find your people. The other deep processors, the other ones who prefer one profound conversation to 10 superficial ones, the other ones who know that silence between two people can be more intimate than any words. And with these people, gathering won't feel like such a drain because there's less pretense, less performance, more genuine meeting. So the next time you're at a gathering and you feel that drain beginning, remember this: you're not broken, you're not antisocial, you're not defective. You're a different kind of instrument, built for a different kind of music. And the world needs your music just as much as it needs the loud, bright songs of the extroverts. Honor your nature, protect your energy, and trust that being exactly who you are is not just okay, it's necessary.